Right now, if the power went out in your house, you'd reach for your phone. Within 2 seconds, you'd have a flashlight. You probably haven't spent more than a few minutes in true darkness in your entire adult life. But your eyes weren't built for instant light. They were built for something much slower and much stranger. Something almost nobody alive today has ever actually experienced. Your eyes were built to become a completely different organ once the sun went down. Here's how it actually works. Your retina has two types of light receptors: cones, which handle color and detail in bright light, and rods, which handle motion and shape in near total darkness. Cones adapt fast. Give them about 10 minutes and they're done. Rods are different. Rods run on a chemical called rhodopsin, and rhodopsin only regenerates in darkness. Light destroys it instantly. Darkness rebuilds it slowly. It takes a rod cell roughly 20 to 30 minutes just to reach useful sensitivity, and up to a full hour to hit its absolute peak. This shift has a name. Scientists call it the Purkinje Shift, the moment your vision quietly hands control from cones to rods. And once it happens, the world doesn't just get dimmer, it gets rebuilt. Reds disappear first. Blues and greens become the brightest things you can see. Shapes replace color. Peripheral motion becomes sharper than anything in front of you. This is not a worse version of daytime vision. It's a separate visual system, sitting dormant inside you right now, that most of us would never fully switch on. For 300,000 years, every human alive switched it on every single night. Without fire, without candles, without any way to cheat the process, your ancestors' eyes had no choice but to complete the full transition. Hunter-gatherers regularly walked, hunted, and navigated using only this secondary system. Old ship navigators understood this too. For centuries, sailors lit their cabins with dim red light before night watch, because red light barely touches rod cells. It lets the eyes stay dark adapted while still seeing what they need to see. Submarine crews and fighter pilots used the exact same trick well into the 20th century. They weren't being dramatic. They were protecting a biological process that takes half an hour to build and about 30 seconds to destroy. Which brings us to one of the strangest propaganda stories of the modern era. During World War II, Britain's Air Force started shooting down German bombers at night with unusual accuracy. The public had no idea the RAF had quietly developed radar. So the Air Ministry needed a cover story, and they found one in a fighter pilot named John Cunningham, who had become brutally effective at night interception. The official explanation given to newspapers was that Cunningham ate enormous quantities of carrots and that the vitamin A in carrots gave him superhuman night vision. The press ran with it. The nickname stuck. Cunningham went down in history as Cat's Eyes Cunningham, and the carrot myth became so deeply embedded that decades later, parents are still telling kids that carrots help you see in the dark. Vitamin A does support eye health, and a severe deficiency can cause night blindness. But eating extra carrots gives you nothing. The entire myth was wartime misdirection. The real technology being hidden wasn't in anyone's eyes. It was radar. Meanwhile, something quieter and far more permanent was happening to actual human night vision. In 2016, researchers published a global atlas of night sky brightness in the journal Science Advances. What they found was staggering. More than 80% of the world's population, and over 99% of people in the United States and Europe, now live under skies bright enough that they never experience true darkness. Not occasionally. Never. An entire category of human visual experience, the one your rod cells were engineered for, has quietly gone extinct for most of the species that owns it. And it's not just that we don't use this system anymore. It's that we've made it almost impossible to use. Every time you check your phone at night, you reset the clock. Rhodopsin breaks down instantly under bright light, including the light from a screen 6 inches from your face. So even on the rare occasion modern humans find themselves somewhere genuinely dark, a campsite, a blackout, a power cut, the habit of glancing at a phone resets 30 minutes of adaptation in under a second. Most people never get far enough into the process to feel the shift. They get the first 5 minutes of fumbling and darkness and frustration, and they stop there, convinced their eyes simply don't work at night. They do. They were just never given the time. This is why so many of us now describe ourselves as bad in the dark, as though it's a personal trait, a flaw, something some people have and others don't. It isn't. It's a system every human is born with, switched off by a species that decided 30 minutes of patience was no longer worth it. We didn't lose night vision. We interrupted it, every single night, for so many generations that most people forgot it was ever there to interrupt. There's something almost unsettling about that. Somewhere inside you, right now, is a visual system built for a world you've probably never let yourself see. A version of your own eyes that responds to starlight, that turns shape and motion into the brightest things in existence, that your ancestors relied on for hunting, for walking home, for staying alive after dark. For nearly the entire span of human history, it's still there. It still works exactly the way it always has. It's just waiting for 30 straight minutes of darkness you've probably never given it. So the next time the power goes out, try something different. Don't reach for your phone. Just sit there. Let your eyes do what they were built to do. Somewhere around the 20-minute mark, you might catch a glimpse of the night your ancestors actually lived in. And you might finally understand what your own eyes have been waiting this whole time to show you.